What about Abbas, the perennial right center?
I didn't even notice he was in this one. I don't watch Indian films. I don't watch any films or TV.
What about adult erotica?
Okay.
He's a great legend. Fabulous guy. He's been on our show
I'll
many
take
times.
your word for it.
Mama, he's a walking, talking legend of India.
Yes, but if you tell someone who's never seen cricket before that Sachin Tendulkar's a legend, they'll just.
But how can you not know who Anupam Kher is? It's like it just doesn't make sense. It's like they'll blame me as a parent.
Because I just don't watch TV or movies like at all.
I blame his mother Aisha.
You don't watch any of these films. You see the clips on YouTube Shorts and put them together in your head.
Just come here. Let me just check your head.
Bro,
are you running a temperature? I mean, what's going on here? Be honest with me. Next is Jamie Lever. Jamie Lever is Johnny Lever's daughter.
Who's
Johnny
that?
Lever. The pain I'm feeling, it's like piles, but here. You think people, it's a bit of nepotism thingy. Do you think you should, if you're famous, you should use the famous last name, etc., etc., or you think you should just do it on your own?
I mean, I don't think I can take a stance against nepotism.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I'm here.
All these people we've seen, I'm going to check that you're following them after this, please. Okay?
Okay. I watch like map videos.
You watch map videos?
Yeah.
Call this guy here.
I love
He makes me
maps.
look educated. What's going on?
Why the DRC is such a small coast in such
What's
a big
the DRC?
country? Democratic Republic of the Congo.
How do you know that? But you don't know Anupam Kher.
So can we do like a full episode just on flags or like maps?
But I'll have to pay for it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, done. It's a pretty simple format. We look at this thing out here. We actually have it. I don't know if you can see it, but we actually have it. And then we just react to it, okay?
Okay.
You don't have to, I mean, you can be nice because some of them will come back as guests and all that. So we have to be a little careful.
Yeah.
So just remember.
I'll be nice.
Be more like your father than your mother in this situation. She won't watch it. Hopefully somebody will watch it, but she won't watch it. Are we ready? Okay.
The greatest thing that happened in my family also became my largest tragedy. Because I was this filmmaker who made Panch and Black Friday, that didn't release, then No Smoking, that bombed, and everything. And my brother went and made Dabangg.
First film.
His first film, Dabangg. And he hits a century.
Super hit.
Super
hit. Yeah.
And then everybody's like,
Dekha?
"Kuch
Aisa
seekho."
picture banao.
And then when we were shooting Gangs of Wasseypur, and we had to find locations, and nobody knew my films. We were shooting in Banaras, my hometown, and nobody knew any of the films I had made because they probably never released in Banaras. So we had to go to the location. आपने दबंग देखी? हाँ. जो दबंग बनाई ना उनके भाई हैं.
छोटा भाई.
हाँ. मैंने उनका भाई है वो फिल्म शूट कर. अच्छा आपके भाई ने दबंग बनाई. आई. And that's how we used to get locations.
This has to be true. It's just a ridiculous story.
Yeah, but it is true. It is true. Dabangg got me a lot of things done.
Wow. That's Anurag Kashyap, one of our leading directors, also now an actor down south doing really well as well. And he's an avant-garde sort of filmmaker and possibly not got enough recognition due as he deserves. To cut a long story short, it's a very self-deprecating story where he's telling us about his younger brother, I think, who made Dabangg, which is your full Salman Khan film, which, rocked and blockbuster, huge success. And he's made so many films. And his whole point was that he went to Banaras, his hometown, to shoot something or whatever. And nobody knows who he is. So he had to use his brother's name and credentials because they also Dabangg, but nobody watched all his visionary films that he's made, thought-provoking, society-benefiting films that he's come up with. So that's it. But he's a lovely guy. And by the way, here's the best story about him, which people don't know. And I'm looking at all three cameras because we have at least 4 listeners. The best story is he came to my house when I was a young man and he was just a writer. And he drank with us one of our wild parties before you were born. He remembered, he explained the location to me and everything, but I couldn't remember him because, I used to really enjoy my parties. So by the time he came, I have no memory. But he was he was a writer and he came with a group of people. Obviously, somebody was known to us. But he remembered everything, explained the lane, location, building, everything. So I was quite impressed. Yeah. Your thoughts?
I feel like you might have gotten the wrong person to watch these. I have no knowledge of movies or TV or anything.
But what do you think of Abbas? There were 3 people there.
Yeah.
He had no contribution. He just sits there like a piece of furniture.
I think that might be me this episode. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't want to,
So here's the deal. If there are 3 people on,
Okay.
you be nice about the guest, so the guest comes back. But you can
Okay.
abuse the fellow anchor. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay? So I'll just check with me who's who, but in case you don't know who they are, because that's really embarrassing. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that was Anurag Kashyap,
Okay.
and hopefully he comes back again because he's always fun to talk to. Not very often do we have guys in this business who make fun of themselves from start to finish. He's one, Sanjay Gupta is the other that I remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
But shall we go to the next?
Sure.
Since you're having such a great time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But next up we have, I think, I'm told, is Shruti Haasan, who's Kamala Hassan's, well, I shouldn't say that, that's wrong. But her parents are famous, Kamala Hassan, Sarika, whatever. So I'm just giving you that background. I know you're not into Indian films, but she's also a singer, very talented, and got a huge following on the internet, etc. And she's extremely pretty, and there are many reasons why you'd watch her. Okay, so let's take a look.
Ari, I flew back from London and in immigration, he asked me, "Aap वापस क्यों आए हैं?" He's like, "हाँ, क्यों आया है?" Like, I was just like, "What? Indian passport holder, dude." And he's like, "हाँ, ठीक है, जाओ."
You must be thinking, if I had an opportunity.
I thought he was asking, like, why have you come to
Exactly,
Bombay? Go
yeah.
back to Tamil Nadu or something. You know, like, that's what I felt. But he meant in general, like, why are you back? I'll tell you how it is for me, right? It's like, oh, how come you're so fair even though you're from the
that.
south?
Oh yeah.
And then, oh, Tamil matlab idli, dosa, sambar, right? So I thought it's one of those.
Now I can't go forward with this interview. I want to know what he was trying to say.
यहाँ
Vapas
क्यों
क्यों
आया?
आया? Vapas doesn't add up, yaar. Return. Why have you returned? See,
Yeah,
understand that?
it's such an existential question as well,
Yeah.
you know?
Maybe he didn't like the song.
It was not released yet. It was not released yet. Dekho isko.
Okay, that was Shruti Haasan. I'm laughing more than you, but that's because I understand all the intricacies of this. So basically what happened, she was telling us a story about coming back and the customs guy. Sometimes they ask silly questions.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the vapas kyun aaya, you know, I mean, why? With the Indian passport holder. So it started from there, but it went on and she was explaining all kinds of things. What do you think? I don't want to keep talking.
I don't really know.
Huh?
I'm not really sure what's going on.
All right. You have no reaction to Shruti Haasan? Did you find her charming?
I mean, I don't know.
What? How pricey can you be, Baba?
I don't know. It's
She
like
won't come back.
It's like a 15-second clip.
These are people. These are big
tough to
stars,
gauge.
but they're making fun of themselves. It's such a nice thing. Indians don't do that easily, bro. Come on, you should give at least 2 points for that.
I think you might have gotten the wrong person.
You
to
said
do
that
this
4
with me.
times already.
Yeah, because I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so you react to me at how was I in the show?
I like your outfit in there more than your outfit now.
We're straight. We're both straight, father and son.
Yeah, I know, but what do you call it? This doesn't go. I mean, it's just I don't like the color. Like the
That's
shirt
what you
color.
get out of the video.
Well, because I want to notice something. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. What about Abbas, the perennial right center?
I didn't even notice he was in this one. Should we watch it again?
No, let's play some sad music, like Shania music, you know, like a funeral, that kind of thing. The poor Abbas. I mean, he was laughing so much.
I mean,
Okay.
I guess
Next
I
one. The next one. Now the next one, guys. This has to work for us. The next one.
Okay.
Are we ready for the next one? Okay. Before we start, I want to just tell him about the next one. Okay. Now Anupam Kher
Yeah.
is one of the greatest legends of Indian cinema.
yeah.
Okay, and by the way, world cinema. Because he's worked all over. He's worked in.
Okay, you also said I'm not. I don't watch Indian films. I don't watch any films. I never watch films or TV.
What about adult erotica?
Okay.
No, so then you do watch.
No,
So we don't have that here. Huh. Sorry? No, but he said no films. There's some.
I don't watch it.
You don't watch full feature, long 2-hour, 3-hour films at all?
No, like never.
Of any culture?
I mean, like rarely. Like maybe like one a year. If that.
So since you were 9 years old and I took you to watch The Pimple and the Barbie or whatever was that? What are those?
What?
What are those films that we watched when we were young? No, the one with the lion and all that.
When you were young, films weren't a thing.
That lion thingy. What is his name? Aslan.
Lion King?
Lion King. Those kind of things. Lion King we watched together, right? Bro, it was your childhood. You tell me. I can't remember. I paid the money and I'm sick.
No, we don't watch Lion King.
Then
We
what
went
do-
for the play.
We went for the play.
Yeah.
That was even more expensive. The musical, you mean?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what a waste. Really.
No, I have no like film or TV culture in any sense in my mind. I only watch sports.
And
No, okay,
what I
man.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Fair enough.
sure.
We won't go back there because we won't embarrass the young lad.
Yeah.
But who's coming up next? just take a look. These are shorts, so this is not even cinema. We don't know about their history.
Okay.
He's a great legend, fabulous guy. He's been on our show
I'll
many
take your
times.
word for it for everyone.
Baba, he's a walking, talking legend of India.
Yes, but if you tell someone who's never seen cricket before that Sachin Tendulkar's a legend, they'll just.
But how can you not know who Anupam Kher is? It's like it just doesn't make sense. It's like they'll blame me as a parent.
Because I just don't watch TV or movies like at all.
I mean, I feel like starting all over again. Put your back inside, call the doctor, Dr. Patki, give me my son, and start all over again.
I just watch football. I don't watch anything else.
Okay,
I don't know.
we'll bring you back for the World Cup.
Okay, yeah.
But in the meantime, this Anupam Kher
Yeah.
won every award. He's done over 600 films.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone more prolific that we know. And won thousands of awards and worked across the world. And what is it? Amsterdam, no? That famous show that was running. Amsterdam, yeah? Right. Or about a hospital, like ER, one of those.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have watched that because those are soap opera thingy, so I understand. But very entertaining, very, very well read and knows what he's talking about. And honestly, he's been quite a supporter in his own way, considering how big he is. So here he is, Anupam Kher. Let's see what he has to say.
I discovered one day my face was twisted. I was shooting for a film called Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, and I went to Yash ji and I said, Yash ji, kal raat se mera chehra left mein kuch zyada hi shift ho raha hai. So I went to Dr. Singhal in hospital, Bombay hospital. He said, you have facial paralysis. And that was the first day of the 20-day schedule of Hum Aapke Hain Kaun. And he said, 2 months you can't go anywhere. Just take chutti and stay at home and take these steroids, take these life-saving drugs and things like that. And I sat in the car and I asked my Dattu, give me a water. And I suddenly felt he was so sensitive, he put a straw into it.
Sorry, I'm laughing, but yeah.
So that I don't drink like that. And then I thought from Bombay hospital to Juhu, and I said, if I today go back home and stay at home for 2 months, I will deal with my life, all my life like that only. So I landed up at the shooting with Cyrus Broacha, Salman, Madhuri. Waisi.
Okay, so this is not exactly a funny story, but it's a story about how he had a face paralysis.
No, I understood the story.
Oh, sorry, you speak English. I keep forgetting.
Uh,
No, but the point. Oh, you know the other lady is next to him, also very famous.
Who?
Mahima Chaudhary. So, who used to be called Ritu Chaudhary, by the way, because I did an ad with her, so I know all this before she became famous. So they were doing a film together, and they were there for the promotion of the film. But he was telling us a story from Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, which is arguably one of the biggest blockbusters in the history of the world in terms of cinema, which you've not watched. I blame his mother, Aisha. Ayesha. She watches only Majidi films and brought up the children like that. So it's a little difficult.
I'm just not a TV or movie guy. I don't.
But don't blame me, because I'm a very populist person who watches shallow cinema and feels happy.
You watch YouTube shorts.
I do, and I scratch while watching.
You don't watch any of these films. You see the clips on YouTube shorts and put them together in your head.
No, for me, 30 seconds is enough to understand the whole movie.
Yeah.
Why waste the producer's time?
Okay.
But what do you think of his story? Now, again, a legendary person telling us about how he had to work with a half a face paralyzed.
Oh, this is quite a nice story. I'm happy for him because he was able to really push through what would be really scary.
Yeah.
Like if that happened to me, I'd be terrified.
Right.
And good for him. Because he didn't let that put aside what he wanted to do.
I once, before a 50 meters backstroke event, national event in Calcutta, I hurt my toenail. And I remember I didn't want to swim because it was paining slightly. And okay.
This is not the... okay.
Okay. Start giving me some feedback about my pain, bro. Don't be mean like that. Show empathy. Okay. We'll go to the next one. So far, so good. You getting better at it?
Yeah, I think so.
You just have to react, bro. We don't need you to have knowledge about their film or where they come from and all. Just react. We want reactions. But if you make big reactions like Kunal, those over-the-top reactions, even better. Like, doorbell rings, you go...
I'm not a very reactive person,
Do ding dong. Let me do the doorbell ring. Yeah.
What?
This is what happens to Kunal's face when the doorbell rings.
I'll just knock.
Again? It's true, man. I don't understand. It doesn't fit, it's just a knock and then there's so much excitement. And it's the postman. And he's so happy to meet the postman also. Let's not talk about him. Next up, we have some cricket. I think you might be able to swing this one. Let's take a look.
Be a bit, yeah.
This is Makaya and Ntini and I think Jaunty Rhodes together.
Okay, I know them.
Okay.
Yes.
And
I know what's going on.
Finally, let's go.
Look at Bumrah. Now he's one of the most, skillful bowler in the world. You know, it doesn't matter where he goes in the world now.
He can get
everybody respect him. You look at Australian tour now. He's a captain. He takes 36 wickets. How's that? You know, a single man because of the talent that he has regarding of how he knows how to, you know, hit the right areas and then being able to bowl the slow ball you're talking about. It will have been a game changer. But the one thing that I always say that as well, don't forget your actual, what you call it, the go back ball. Instead of being the one that does the slower ball back of the hand and all of that, and then you end up forgetting your stock ball, you call it. Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting things here. Firstly, everyone's talking about Bumrah being the greatest ever and all, which I think we should hang on to a little bit and don't put so much pressure on him. But did you understand what he was trying to say about Bumrah? Bumrah is able to get wickets on all surfaces. We lost 3-1 the BGT, about Border Gavaskar Trophy. So we got hammered in the end, but he got 36 wickets. So imagine if we had a little more support, we would have won 5-love. It's like that. He was almost unplayable at times. And what he says about Bumrah is, and I think that's absolutely spot on, is the fact that he doesn't need conditions. He's one of those rare bowlers like Wasim Akram who conditions aren't that important. He'll figure out how to bowl, what length to bowl, depending on what the pitch is or conditions. If there's swing, he'll get it. If there's seam movement, he'll get it. He has this fantastic wrist movement, so he can bend the ball both ways and almost nonchalantly, so you can't even tell. And he can bowl quick. He can touch 150 when he wants to. Okay, generally doesn't, but he can. So I think he's got bouncers, slower balls, everything. The other thing he says, which I found very fascinating, is because of T20 and all, people have started using all these other balls like slower balls and slow bouncers and all that, and they forget their stock ball. Ultimately, those other balls should be used sparingly. To get wickets. And your stock ball, if you're a basic outswing bowler, you should be bowling more of your stock balls. That kind of thing. So he's saying he's worried about, and I think that's...
By stock ball, you mean like the standard that they go to?
No, you get into a team because you're famous for bowling one style. Like in-swing or outswing, a certain length, or short and fast sometimes into the body, if that's what you do.
So you say like Mitchell Starc with that Yorker?
Yeah, Mitchell with the Yorker, Mitchell with the outswing.
Jimmy Anderson with
swing, all that. So his point is that they should never give that up because they get caught up in bowling this slower back of the hand stuff. And it's all this, Charlie.
So Bumrah's stock balls are the Yorker?
No, his point. Bumrah is different. He's saying Bumrah knows what he...
Okay.
Bumrah's stock ball actually is the ball that goes away.
Okay.
But
away from the right-hander.
He can bring the ball in also. He's like a magician.
Yeah.
It's not fair to say
and his death bowling.
But he doesn't use these extra curricular deliveries all the time. He uses his 4 or 5 great deliveries for the most part. And it's the length he bowls, right? You have to get the right length where the batsman is not sure to come forward or back.
Yeah.
That ability like Curtly Ambrose, Wasim Akram. Suddenly we're talking so much because we like cricket. Otherwise there's nothing to talk about. But he was pretty good. Makaya himself.
That South Africa team, I know they were slightly different eras because Makaya played later on than Jonty Rhodes
did. No, they played together, but Jonty is a little earlier. And a little bit together,
But Makaya's era, the 2007 ish, that South Africa team, the fact that era didn't win anything still surprises me. I know I barely watched
them. They came close a lot of times,
because I was too young. But
what a crack team!
When you look at the squad, then
Smith, Callis, I mean, they're all champion players.
Young de Villiers.
Batting was fabulous.
Stain, Morkel, Ntini, Dumini.
What an attack! Yeah, fabulous.
Herschel Gibbs, Amla.
Yep. At some point, fair enough. Now you make me feel bad being South African. Because they really, with that talent, they didn't win an ICC trophy. They really should have.
And nothing, right? 2007, even T20 was introduced.
Yeah.
I mean...
It's like me not getting the national award. You have that talent and yet it doesn't happen.
That's why I was so happy South Africa won the WTC last year against Australia because I just feel like it was so long overdue, right?
Yeah, and that was against the run of play also. Just in the second innings, Markham and the skipper coming together, Bauma, and taking the game away. Yeah. But did you enjoy this conversation at least? Yeah. It was fun. What are your thoughts on Bumrah?
He's the best bowler in the world right now.
For sure. But would you go all the way and say best ever and all? Because a lot of people are calling him best ever. Stuff too.
I feel like with any sport, and I feel like these comparisons, it's always you got to take it with a pinch of salt because when you talk about different eras, right, there's so many different factors you can't really compare. Like things are simple. So like if you look at batsmen, for instance, right, the equipment they had 50 years ago versus the equipment they have now.
No helmets.
Uncovered
pitches.
And even if they did have helmets,
unlimited
they didn't have
bouncers.
Yeah. The quality of the bats.
Gavaskar in the 70s actually had to face Joel Garner's 6-ball bouncer over and nothing was called. 6'8" Joel Garner. 6 bouncers in a row, not called.
Yeah.
Which is...
less padding. The bats were more feeble and not as...
completely.
Yeah.
I mean, I never got to use these bats and I could hit the ball hard.
They weren't robust the way they are now. So the point is, with these changes, like, how do you really draw a fair comparison?
True.
Can you like just look at stats?
Tough.
To say.
But let's put it this way: he like a Wasim Akram. I mean, he's a bowler of his generation. So all said and done,
Yeah.
I feel all these guys born to whatever generation or whatever conditions would have done well. There's no question. Malcolm Marshall, Wasim Akram, Alec Betzer before him, all these guys. So I think Bumrah is right on top. But I agree, we should not do this whole best ever thing. It just puts a weight on the guy. And Bumrah's a friend. He calls up all the time. Right?
Okay.
Next.
Oh,
nice. We got more cricket for you. Since you woke up the moment we had sports, we give you more cricket. Because this show is not planned. We do it on the spot.
Yes.
Here it is. This is Muttiah Muralitharan, arguably the greatest spinner that ever lived.
You say so,
800
Shane
wickets. We'll discuss this. Let's take a look and then we'll discuss this. So who decides whether you can, go out, meet girls and all that?
We decide.
He's talking about after day's play. How they pass time.
Yes.
You guys go out in the night before the game and all? Don't smile, Murali, tell us honestly. Come
I
on.
will reveal.
Yeah.
I would have played about 10-15 test matches. I would have slept by 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, sneak into the room and then go and play the match.
But you just told the youngsters don't have focus and all. I mean, they're not. But you have a good performance the next day on the field.
See, those days the energy is very energetic because when you're 21, 22, you are so energy. But the problem is when you go to the clubs or whatever you do, you should not drink.
So if you don't drink, what do you do in these clubs, Mundi? I mean,
see, dance, eat, and then drink and everything.
Come back
See,
home.
it's so embarrassing. So Sanat and Mulli go out till 4 in the morning, come back and hammer India.
No, Sanat
It's so
and-
unfair. So who are the party animals?
Ismail, Sangha, everyone.
Okay, all right. So there's a bad boys club, all right. Sweet story. They're a lovely guy. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just one of the greatest cricketers that ever lived. But he's so unassuming. I mean, and absolutely no acting.
Yeah.
He's exactly what he is. I was in love with him by the end. He was just so funny, and he's telling us straight from the heart. Stories about your touring or whatever. How do you kill time in the night? Game ends at 5:30.
did he get a
normally.
10-wicket game like in an innings? Or was it 9?
No 10.
But
9.
there was a 9,
10
right?
is Anil Kumble, and then we have one more after that. But he's got 800 test wickets. Nobody's close, and he's got more 5-wicket and 10-wicket hauls than anybody else.
Yeah.
But do you like this story?
Yeah.
They'd be up till 3:34 in the morning. Then the next day, he'd take a Fifer and win the game. Because he was young and he could do anything. I could also when I was young, but now I can't.
He also he could turn the ball so much for a finger spinner. I haven't seen a finger spinner
Yeah.
turn, because obviously with Warren and stuff, the wrist spinners, you'd expect them be able to turn the ball that much. But
It's amazing. That's why his dusra, then of course they would call him for the elbow and this and that. But you think about it, you can't really get that much purchase even with the elbow. It doesn't make any sense. The kind of turn he would get on all surfaces, and the other spinners aren't turning it. So it's got to be a skill level to it. Just his fingers and his ability to move the ball and turn it and spin it and get those rotations. But you're asking me Warren or Murali.
Yeah.
See, my thing why I rate Murali very high is he's got wickets everywhere against the grain. Everywhere. Shane Warne hasn't performed in the subcontinent, especially India.
yeah,
Okay, I know the best batting lineup India's ever had was in that era, but he's come to India a few times. He's never really performed, and I think that's a little bit of a problem for me. Because if you're the best spinner, you get the best spin-friendly batsman. You got to deal against. It's like Viv Richards would play against the best fast bowlers, say Australia or Pakistan, and score runs against them. That's a real test for me. So similarly, he has to perform against the best spin. Today, Indian batsmen not that good against spin. We're talking about Dravid, Lakshman, Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly. Saurav Ganguly would, if you bowl spin, he shut his eyes on bat. It's like that. So these guys were unbelievable against spin, and you had to dominate them on their wickets. For me, Murali would get more purchase and do better. Also, not the greatest record in India, but definitely better than Shane's. That's my point. What do you? But very close to call. And one would perform under pressure. He'll change a game. He had the ability to take a side with him. Murali also, for that matter, very often he and Vas were the only two getting wickets. Do you remember Chaminda Vas?
I think so.
The
tall.
medium pacer, not that tall, medium pacer.
Who's the tall guy then?
Numan Zoisa.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a couple of tall guys.
Yeah.
Dilara Fernando also was very tall.
There was one Sri Lankan bowler who was really tall, and the rest were a lot shorter than him.
Yeah, I think Zoisa. But so, what's your thing on Murali?
I love to watch Murali play.
Yeah.
It's he's also like you said, very unassuming. He was never too over the top or theatric about getting a wicket. Very calm.
Yeah, that big smile.
Yeah, he just had that smile. His eyes and his...
The thing is, he smiled before bowling and after bowling. So you can't quite tell. He just got bigger.
Yeah, but he never run around celebrating. Never made a...
He suffered a lot when they called him for no balls and all in Australia. He suffered a lot. He wanted to quit the game. And
because of the elbow.
Yeah, Arjuna run. It does straighten. That's where they came up with the 14 degrees. But I've tried while bowling. Even when they said Shoaib was chucking. You try bowling with this much bend. You don't get that much purchase when you take a big run up, and you don't get that much. I mean, you will get it if you do this.
Yeah.
But you don't get it with this.
Yeah.
Try. Take a run up and bowl like that. Or even spin. How much does it turn because of a little bit of flexion? It doesn't. And his hands he's a freak. There's no question about it. Yeah. By the way, my son picked up a ball when he was 5 years old, a season ball, because I made him play properly. And bowled the googly, not the leg break. Bowled the googly without any training.
I don't have any memory of this. This could be...
No, you bowled the googly. You didn't bowl the leg break. You bowled the googly, the one that comes into the right hander.
No, I know what a googly is, but I don't remember.
Then you got to learn how to bowl the leg break, but that took time. But the googly you could bowl.
Yeah.
Which is a gift, man.
I could have had a career. Why did we stop?
If you just chased cricket instead of football, I wouldn't have to do this podcast. I'd be sitting there in the IPL dugout, clapping for the captain of Punjab. Which is my son. But no, now it's Shreyas Iyer. Anyway, I like Shreyas.
Yeah, Shreyas is a nice guy.
Lovely guy. Okay, so coming up next is one of my favorites. We had a sensation whenever we had him on because he and I would just talk cricket. Okay, basically we talk cricket. This is Avinash Gowarikar. He's a very famous photographer. Now, you don't know anyone, so I'm just giving you the background to everybody. But all the famous stars have been shot by him, like the Salmans and all the big names. So hugely known in Bollywood circles and hugely known by fans and all that. But he's here for cricket. Yeah. And the thing is, every time we had him on, India was close to some big final, and every time we sort of lost.
Okay.
So we got a lot of trolls as well. But he's great fun. He absolutely loves the game, and we come from the same generation, so take a listen.
I've got 4 missed calls from one number.
Who's this?
Farah.
Who's Farah Khan?
Yeah.
The famous Farah Khan.
Yeah. You want to pick it up?
Yeah, let's talk to her. This is live, guys.
Farah, I was not picking up your phone. You're on speaker. You're on speaker. You're on speaker. I'm giving the phone to somebody.
Farah, listen, I want to get a role in a film. Can you do something?
I can do casting couch.
I'm Cyrus. We've met a couple of times, but you don't like me.
Cyrus, you crackpot. I'm in the same building as
you. Come up.
We spoke about cricket. Now, if you want to hear total nonsense about cricket caller. Name 2 bowlers in the Indian team today.
Virat Kohli bowled in the last.
Virat Kohli is a bowler of India. Who's the second bowler?
That Atiya's husband.
KL Rahul is a bowler. Are you understood?
Can't be a bowler. Sayyam Mikhaail is a bowler.
Do you understand? Okay, so the building we were shooting in, there's some doctor, something that she had come to visit.
Okay.
She's Farah Khan is famous, Farah Khan, famous director, choreographer. Anyway, so she was there, and they're always in touch because he's part of this Bollywood elite camp or whatever. And so we just took the call live, and we called her into our. It's on the same floor, the floor above. And so she came, she walked in, and we were talking cricket. And then he asked her to name 2 bowlers, and she said Virat Kohli and KL Rahul. By the way, KL Rahul, she didn't remember the name. Atiya Shetty's husband, Sunil Shetty's daughter. So she got it through there. And they're at the height of their fame, absolute height of their fame. So a lot of respect for Farah. And the lack of respect she has for sport. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know what I mean. You kind of explained everything.
It's a bit of a come down from Muttiah, Muralitharan and Makaya and Ntini.
Nothing else to say.
He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But you should have been on the show. Because we talk cricket actually for the most part. Yeah. But will you check out Farah Khan when you have time? She's very sweet. She's half Parsi, Baba. She's one of us.
Okay.
Very sweet. Excellent. Quran loves her.
Okay.
Loves her absolutely. She's very, very nice.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe she'll leave us some property somewhere if you're nice to her.
Okay.
You know how these things work. Yeah. Okay, let's move to the next one. Who's this? Who's next? Ali Fazal is next. Okay. So Ali Fazal, again, very famous actor. Does all kinds of new age cinema. Has done some work in Hollywood as well. Okay. And he's a Doon school boy.
Yeah.
So he's like you in many ways in terms of how he was raised. Okay, let's take a look.
I called my dad. I said, listen, I'm good. I'll take care of myself. I don't need monthly allowances and all. Big, bold move. Two of my friends, me and this friend of mine, Vijay, we've decided to do that. And he's done this call as well. Apparently, he called some other friend of his. He didn't call his dad.
He lied?
Yeah, he fully lied. He carried on getting his money monthly.
So he set up this idea, make sure he's safe with the security thing and acting like this bohemian guy, and he put you under pressure there.
Yeah. So then, that whole, I'm done, I'll take care of myself.
Yeah, you cut the cord with the...
Yeah.
But then how did you manage? Were you selling vada pav?
Other things. A lot of other things, which I don't think I can
Good to know.
share.
When you get your Padma Shri, remember to mention it. But there's a secret I want to expose first. Oh, no. Because obviously you're a super rich kid. Because you went to Doon school.
Oh God, no.
You've basically eaten up with the work of some middle class, hard-working, theatre-loving guy who had to go by train from across the East Zone to West Zone of India or something to become an actor. I mean Anurag Kashyap. Yes, my son.
You're going to have to explain this one.
He's just talking about, okay, so there's two parts to this in a sense, because he's talking about struggling when you come there.
Yeah.
When he lives in Delhi, and he has to come to Mumbai and he's trying to, make it work here. And with no money, how do you manage? So he uses his buddy, he sort of exploits him, that kind of situation, and but then he has to cut the cord with his family, etc. So that's part of it. That you got that, right? That was the first part. The second part is, but in actuality, he's from Doon school. So it's a bit of a, it's not like, perhaps he didn't need to struggle. That was the question that was put forth. Completely, yeah.
What's Doon school? What?
Wait, just come here. Let me just check your head.
Bro,
are you running a temperature? What's going on
Like-
here? Be honest with me. You don't know what Doon school is? It's like the most prestigious school in India. Bro, hum aapke hain kaun? Doon school. I have no face to show. I have to hide now. They'll send me to Bangladesh.
Look,
I'll be on a train in 20 minutes. That's a bad parenting. You don't know Doon school? Rajiv Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, I think, all the famous politicians.
Yeah, I know those names.
Those names you know.
Yes.
So if they speak to you, you'll be okay, is what you're saying.
No,
You really don't know Doon school?
I'm a bit more clued in with politics than I am with film.
That's true. But the politicians come from where? And Doon school has produced a lot of politicians, a lot of business families, a lot of VVIPs that we know today. You probably know Doskoites, but or Doon schoolites, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. You probably know them, but you don't know they're from that school.
Okay.
Because you have some rich friends. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so Ali Fazal, he's extremely talented young man. Look out for him. All these people we've seen, I'm going to check that you're following them after this, please. Okay? Because it looks really bad on our part that we have a child who doesn't care about Indian artists and cinema.
Not care isn't the right word.
Then what is the right word?
I don't know. I've just got a very narrow scope of things I really enjoy. I like football, my dogs, the gym, not really much else.
So you're making this about yourself. We put out some of the great celebrities here to talk about
Because
their
you're asking
performances.
why I don't know what's going on, right? I'm just not.
But what more can they do? Some of them have, they've got like 50 million crore followers and all.
It's
and
about
the guys, you're going to give them all. So they'll go to psychiatrists after this show because they'll be like, he doesn't know who I am. What more can I do?
It's
like
about personal interest. It's like somebody who may have got a Nobel Peace Prize and done so many great things for the world. I mean, then again, Trump got a Nobel Peace Prize, so maybe there is.
He's not got the Nobel Peace Prize. He was offered it by what's her name? Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't really have any merit actually.
Okay.
But the point is, someone that's achieved a lot, right? That doesn't necessitate that you know of them. It just depends on your line of interest.
Fair enough. Give me a list of subjects for the next time you're here. Akanksha, take notes.
Okay.
Football, dogs, then?
Gym.
What about dogs that play football? I mean, that would be a huge subject.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, gym.
I would love dogs.
Gym,
that
that's
play
3.
football.
History,
Yeah.
politics.
I like maps more than history and politics.
What are you, Uber driver?
No, I love maps. I'd say geography.
Looking for a home. Mikhaail Broacha, 23 years old, looking for a home.
Oh, that's what I
Kripaya
watch.
dhyan dijiye.
I watch
What?
map videos.
You watch map videos? Who
Yeah.
called this guy here?
I love
He makes me
maps.
look educated. What's going on?
No, yeah.
You can't say I like maps. Who says I like maps?
I don't know. I like
You like
watching
maps? I didn't know this
I
side
love
to you.
maps.
Why
and
would you like
cities.
maps?
And I love looking at maps.
Why?
Because it's fun.
You're like Donald Trump? You want to take
No,
over
like
the world?
stories about borders and stuff and panhandles and enclaves and how borders got to be. Like why Kaliningrad is separated from the rest of Russia.
I'm scared for
why
you to meet
Afghanistan
any
has a
body from
panhandle.
popular culture now. I'm very worried. But what is this? Is my son, he likes maps.
Why the DRC has such a small coast and such
What's
a
the
big
DRC?
country. Democratic Republic of the Congo.
How do you know that? But you don't know Anupam Kher. I mean, Jesus, man. मेरे को क्या करना है अभी? I don't have a road to go to.
I love maps.
You know, DRC.
I had a huge world map in my room as well.
Which room is this?
Canada.
Because I thought
No, but I have
at home if you had this and I
in
didn't
Mumbai,
know.
I have an atlas that I look at all the time.
Why?
Because I just like looking at maps.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, ask me something about maps if you
You
want.
know, you're not full Parsi. I can't explain all this.
And flags.
He likes girls. I know. I've caught him.
But
I promise you.
what's wrong with liking maps and flags?
2 pigs. All right. Are we ready for the next one? Oh, next is Jamie Lever. Jamie Lever is Johnny Lever's daughter.
Who's
Johnny
that?
Lever. The pain I'm feeling. It's like piles, but here. Johnny Lever is arguably the greatest Indian comedic legend of all time.
Okay.
With due respect to those who went before him. He's that big. Your father did a movie called Jalwa in 1985-86, where I played a small role, where he was sort of discovered. Okay, he's this guy who used to work in Hindustan Levers. Hence he took the name Lever. His real name is different. And he would do mimicry and all for them. It was like Rajnikant's story. So he's just discovered. And then he would do things at the Hindustan Lever functions and all that. Just, he was a packaging guy. He was doing the packaging and putting it in, factory worker type.
Yeah.
And then he just literally got discovered. It's a real unbelievable story. So his daughter, Jamie, of course, by then he's an icon, he's super rich, all that. And then he has children. She's really talented, very funny. And she's also an actress and she's also a comedian, of course, because she's Johnny's daughter. Now, I've given you all what you should have known as a child. But because of your map love, let's go to watch this.
Eventually, when I got hired, they called me for the final cast and crew meet and things like that. So everybody was there. Sudesh Lahiri and Krishna and Bharti and all of these actors were there. So they were like, okay, chalo. And then they started ragging us. Acha, kya karte ho? Kahan se aaye ho? And then somebody said, okay, I think Sudesh ji. He went, acha, to tum kahan rehti ho? And I said, Andheri. Oh, tum to Amir ho? And all of that. They were fully taking my case. And I said, okay, tumhare dad kya karte hain? And I said, daddy comedian hai.
Oh shit.
And they said, matlab comedian.
So you do the whole acting. I like the way you do it. You pull it out slowly. Oh, he's a comedian.
No, I was really trying to avoid it.
I know, fair enough. But
I
you can't
really
lie.
did not want to
How
bring
can
it
you
up.
lie?
But yeah, and then they're like, okay, kahan par comedian matlab kidhar? And I said, करते हैं Bollywood में थोड़ा बहुत. And then they said, okay, अच्छा, Bollywood में काम करते हैं, नाम तो बताओ. And I said, Johnny Lever. At this point, Sudesh ji went, अरे बेटा, तुम तो हमारी बेटी हो.
And this is a beautiful one. And you don't even have to know background here. So he's a legend. He's a super famous. He's a shadow on top of her head, obviously. And she's very careful not to use him. Some people are proud to do their own thing and they don't want that huge shadow. So that's fair. So she's telling a story where other icons, when she's working the first time in the business, and Sudesh ji and all that she's mentioned, they're all iconic people. I won't get into that. So her point is she's a little embarrassed. She's trying not to mention Johnny Lever. But when she does mention Johnny Lever, how the behavior changes from, slightly, standoffish to pow-padoing and whatever. So my point is, has this ever happened to you?
I don't think so.
I mean, your father's pretty fucking famous. He's quite a big shot. Well known in many parts of the world, like
I've had a couple times
Eastern
where
China.
someone's like, "Oh, do you know Cyrus Broacha?" Because they make the last name connection, and I go, "Yeah, you know."
And then what? I owe them money or something? What is the next sentence?
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of debt.
But
They give me an invoice.
But has anyone ever gushed like that? Because what happens is, of course, he's huge. I mean, he's really huge.
Yeah.
And Johnny's there's no one who can't. Everybody loves Johnny. He's like the show Everybody Loves Raymond. He's just the kind of guy who's just everybody likes. So the moment she mentions his name, the whole, the ambience changes completely. That happens sometimes when somebody's really influential.
Yeah.
So, but sadly, it didn't happen with you the way I hoped it would. But maybe if I had done a little better in life, then perhaps. But yeah, what do you think? You think people, it's a bit of nepotism thingy. Do you think you should, if you're famous, you should use the famous last name, etc., etc., or you think you should just do it on your own?
I mean, I don't think I can take a stance against nepotism.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I'm here. Like, let's call a spade a spade,
That's true. In our small podcast world, yes. Where considering you're not even interested.
Clearly,
I mean,
yeah.
this is a nepo kid at its worst.
This is
Amit Doshi, kahan hai?
Yeah.
Some answers need to be. Will you stop fiddling with the switches at the back? Sorry, you guys can't see what he's doing. Abhay sir is playing with his cable. Next. We'll take a break.
Yeah.
While he adjusts his cable. Tell me, double entendre is not your thing. You don't want to do that. Who's funnier in our family? Aisha, me, Maya, or you?
Wait, why? What do you mean double entendres? I understand what double entendres are.
Okay. I moved on.
But what do you mean it's not your thing?
Is it your thing?
Like, do I understand them?
No. Do you use them?
Sometimes.
Okay, fair. Who's the funniest in the family?
Meru.
We'll take a break and then we'll come back in a second. Because anyway, Aryam is talking while we're about to take a break. It's cool, don't worry, your sound.
Which was that match where you literally flew into the stumps?
What do you mean, which was that match? It was the match, the only game that launched my career.
There are two main arms of the Indian system. In military, we have the infantry and cavalry and all of those things.
Did you say cavalry?
I did.
How old are you?
Well, not as old as you are. Lots to come on John T on the Dock Season 1.
Can't wait. And please, don't change the shirt.
No, I'm not going to.
Okay, that's great.
I promise. For the entire series, I'm going to wear the same shirt.
We're ready for part 2. Some names here you may know. Let's take a look at this one, which is Ram Kapoor. He's got a famous bulldog.
Oh, nice.
Maya and me follow the bulldog.
French or British?
British.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Don't be racist. They're both beautiful. Okay, this is Ram Kapoor. Now, Ram, well, just quickly, I'll just give context to my son. I grew up with Ram in the sense that we grew up in the same area. His dad was Anil Kapoor, head of Ulka, famous advertising man. And we've known each other since childhood, although we're a little out of touch. He became really famous and possibly the most famous male actor in television in the history of India. And I won't get into all the different shows he's done. Anyway, so he came to have a freewheeling chat. Also, bike crazy, car crazy guy. And his energy levels are ridiculous. He has to be tested by WADA, but we'll do it later. Let's take a look.
I'm only talking about my experience. I have been a morbid, obese, 140 kilo man for 20 years.
My God.
And all the health problems of the world. Twice I lost 30 kilos and twice it came back. And this time what I've done, I've lost 55 kilos and now I've achieved a great level of health because here is what I have learned. Any diet is temporary and that requires willpower and this thing.
Ram, what did you do?
Wait, I will come to it. I'll come to it.
We'll run out of time. This is like a soap opera.
Okay. The point is, instead of dieting, you have to change your mindset. There are two kinds of people, healthy people and unhealthy people. They are completely different. If you don't become completely like those people, you are going to fail. Now, they think different, their lifestyle is different, their habits are different, everything is different. You have to become like that completely for life.
I think this is a good one for Mikhaail because Mikhaail is very into diet, very into his look, fitness, aesthetics, all that. He really was huge. Ram reached, as he said, over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
He's a little taller than me. He's not really 6'9" or something. Over 300 pounds, really huge. In fact, the show that made him famous is a show about the fact that he's really huge. And I think lots of Indian men empathized with that and said, "Theek hai, being big is not a bad idea or whatever." So he really sort of milked that. But deep down, he always wanted to be fit and whatever. And he's had periods of being fit, but he keeps going back. So he was mentioning about how lifestyle has to change. It's a simple, normal, cliche stuff, but it's true.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, because you went from being a slightly chubby guy, which you didn't like, into being this lean, athletic figure that you have now.
I was really skinny in between, though.
Yeah, you were really skinny also, so that's another story altogether. But what do you think about Ram Kapoor?
No, I understand what he's saying, and I think it is like more of a lifestyle thing than just like the diet alone. But I don't know. I mean, firstly, I'm happy for him for having made that change. Like, good for him. He seems to be very happy about it as well, so that's great. I don't know. I guess I agree. Like, it is, more an entire like holistic lifestyle change rather than.
What would you tell Kunal, who now we've put behind your shoulder?
Yeah.
Who wants to lose weight constantly but doesn't really commit. Look at Ram's a great example. Ram has a very strong mind, has an extreme personality. What do you say to this person here who's only a head, but actually it's the body which you're worried about?
I feel like for a change like that to be made for anyone, I feel like everyone does have it in them. It's just the switch has to like flick, And for some people it never does, right? And for others it does. And when that moment happens, it's like then they realize, okay, I've got to really make a change. And it's not just so obviously the most important facet is health, because if you don't have health, you have nothing, right? But with other things as well, like career, relationship, any other aspect of your life, I feel like you'll go from being more lax about how you approach it to more disciplined once something happens. Doesn't have to be a positive or necessarily negative.
He doesn't eat. He eats. Eats like one meal a day.
Mm-hmm.
He's like unbelievably extreme.
Yeah.
And that's why he's 80 odd kilos now from 140.
Yeah.
Just completely. I mean, it's ridiculously extreme. I
So-
don't know how he does it.
His intake would be what, like?
Maybe 1,200 calories or something. It's just really low.
That's. I mean,
But his energy levels are damn high, which is
Mhm.
amazing. Again, I can't explain it.
well, I guess if it works for him,
Yeah.
then
Okay. Let's talk maps.
Okay. Tell me.
Describe the different maps to me.
What do you mean? Describe the different maps.
I don't know
We
anything
can-
about maps. You want to sell maps? Sell maps.
We can talk about a place and talk about the map of the area.
Oh, okay.
A
Qatar.
continent. Qatar is really small, just off the Saudi.
Yeah, I've been told the same.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to the next.
Yeah.
Kunal Khemu is next. Kunal
Okay.
Khemu. Very good friend. We did a film together called 99. So we bonded. We spent 3 weeks in Delhi together and a few days in Bombay as well. So we had a very nice working relationship. And he's much younger. Oh, we did a bakra on him many years ago. I won't tell you everything. It'll take too long. But let's see what he's talking about. And the fact that you like him. He trains hard. He eats well. He's full of life. He's very positive. And he's great energy. Let's take a look.
The first time I tried Japanese food, we were staying in Taj, and Baman and I had a day off. Cyrus wasn't there, and he said, "Do you want to have Japanese food?" And for me, I always thought it's raw fish and all that. I
This is
won't
the
eat all
hotel.
this. Yeah. So he said, "I have to take you, and you should know how to like Japanese food. You have to experience." I said, "Okay, let's go." And that's when I got introduced to sake.
So
and
talking
cold.
about
And
Baman. Baman.
Sake, unlike other alcohols, doesn't like really taste that bitter. It has a really smooth flow to it. So I was downing it, sitting down. It was like
And it
very
looks
nice.
little, no? Like a kid.
It's
very
less, exactly. It's like that thing.
It's a
So
sip, yeah.
I actually thought maybe it's like a custom to like go tongue. It's,
I think it
it's
is.
rude.
It
I don't
is,
know.
but you don't have 10.
So then I went on. So he was also like, Papa, you might want to slow down. No, don't worry about it. I'm really enjoying it. Luckily, we were staying in that hotel. Otherwise, I wouldn't have reached home. So I got up and I went down. And Papa was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I don't think so." And I just remember going to my room, passing out, and waking up the next morning and going to shoot. That was my first experience of Japanese food.
Sake.
Yeah.
Have you tried it?
I don't think so.
So Baman, the whole story is actually about Baman. So we did this film, 99. At some point, they were alone. None of us were there. So they went to the restaurant. There's a Japanese restaurant in Taj. One of the Mansingh, or I can't remember Palace, which one of these two. And they ate so Baman likes to be the guide and the philosopher and the benefactor. He likes to play that role. So he was coaching him, this young boy, this is how you eat Japanese food, this is what this is what that is. And Baman is a fountain of knowledge. And then they started having, and sake, right? It's normally a very small cup, like 1/8 this size. So it's very easy for an Indian male to think, isme kya hai? Tuck. Isme kya hai? Tuck. Because it's literally like a shot and a half every time. And probably doesn't hit you immediately in any case. So his whole story was that, he had quite a few and he fell. And it's all Baman's fault. Baman was pontificating about how great Japanese food is, not paying attention to how much he drank. And has this happened to you? Have you ever been drunk?
Yeah, I've been drunk.
Oh my God. Have you fallen?
Yeah.
You've fallen?
Yeah.
What were you drinking?
I don't know. I don't remember.
How do you get home?
But probably vodka.
How did you get home that night?
Uber.
You had a map?
I did have a map.
Wow. But if you were unconscious, how do you remember?
No, my friends tell me, the next day.
So somebody dropped you?
Yeah.
Did you feel yourself in the morning? Because anything can happen when you're drunk like that.
Oh, there was...
they stole things.
Not too long ago over here, I got pretty...
On my watch? In Mumbai?
Yeah, in Mumbai.
When?
Like a couple of weeks ago. 3-4 weeks ago, I don't know.
Where was I? What kind of father?
You were asleep by 8.
That
I was still at home when you were asleep.
I know once you came home when I was walking Peter.
Yeah,
and Mary.
I remember that.
Once, because I get up at 4 and he actually came home while I was just so surreal. I'm waking up, yawning with my dog, scratching myself, walking in an empty lane, and this guy comes in a cab and
No,
he's coming in.
I remember because you came back up and I was having my shawarmas at like 5:15 in the morning.
My
That was my
God.
dinner.
Bro, we got to talk about this. We got to find some middle point. You're worse than Kaustav. What's going on here? But that's once in a while. So as long as you don't overdo it. Yeah. So what do you think of Kunal Khemu? Are you going to watch his movies? Can you name any Kunal Khemu movie?
Bro, I can barely name a movie.
Can you name any Boman Irani movie?
Well, you said he was in 99 with you, no?
Yes! Well done!
See,
Yeah, we got it.
I may not know film, but my comprehension skills.
Fantastic. And your recall is good.
Yeah.
That's something we can work
recall
with.
something 2
Hence
minutes
you like
ago.
maps. Exactly. Yeah. But
Okay.
that's modern world, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Not even 3. That's it, by the way. That's it. Well done. You passed the test. Not bad. Well done. It was difficult to do because he's mentioned his hobbies, mapping, and
dogs
and
gym
and football.
I think that could be it. I don't know if
No,
there's...
politics. We argue so much about different. We won't get into it here.
Yeah, we won't get into it here.
Yeah,
we won't get into it here.
It's a family. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah. Flags. Okay. Let's do a quick test. Can you just describe it, and if we can put up the flag. Okay.
Okay.
But you better be good now. But I look stupid because you're not interested in the famous people.
Yeah.
Feel the pressure, brother. Feel the pressure. Bumrah's bowling now. 4 slips, 2 gullies. Let's see what you can do, bro.
It's okay.
Okay. Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe is red, green, and black, but it's got a triangle, like this white triangle on the side with like this yellowy orange bird-like thing on it.
Yep. Well, take a look. Here it is. He's spot on. Okay, great. Well done.
Used to be called Rhodesia when you were
Okay,
born.
bust now.
Okay.
We can't sell that to the client. We've got to figure out a show. Okay, next. Let me give you 2 more.
Was it a bird? I want to see. Or was it a different kind of emblem?
It's Robert Mugabe
Don't
on
think
top
so.
of the flag. Okay, 2 more. Let me give you 2 more.
Okay.
Because it can't be a fluke. And it's a cricket country, so you might know it and all that.
Okay.
So I'm going to avoid those. Morocco.
Morocco is just a red background with a green star in
Really?
the center. Yeah.
Wow. Let's check that. Morocco.
That's Morocco's
Wow.
well-known country.
Fantastic. As a mark of respect, I'm going to sneeze.
Okay.
Last one.
Okay.
Can I go South America? You go to South America?
You go anywhere, but also can we do like a full episode just on flags or like maps?
Okay, but...
Maps and flags. Oh, sorry, go on.
But I'll have to pay for it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, done. Here's my last one. If you get this right, you win.
Okay.
Uruguay.
Uruguay, so it's kind of like Greece in terms of there are horizontal blue and white stripes, and in the top left corner, there is a little sun, a yellow sun.
Uruguay. Isn't that like Japan?
Oh, it's with the U. Yeah.
Oh my God, he's right. He's a flag genius. Wasted on Indian celebrities, but a flag genius.
But to be fair, these are all like these are all football countries you've gone for, except Zimbabwe. But
all are football. What is a non-football country? Can you name a non-football country? Djibouti.
Yeah.
What's the flag like?
So it's a white triangle.
Akanksha's with a D, right?
A white triangle with a star on it.
Djibouti.
And green and light blue stripes. So 2 stripes and white triangle on the left-hand side.
Djibouti, if I remember correctly. Non-football. Let's see. Is that it?
White triangle with a star.
He's not bad, bro. My son's a genius.
Light blue and not a genius. I just looked at a lot of flags.
Oh, you don't know about Indian stars. So what is Mikhail? He knows the flags of the motherfucking world. Well done, brother. Thank you so much for coming. Are we going home together?
Yeah.
Okay. You have a map?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Because when I searched for Kunal, you realized? Bro, do your financial degree. This line is for morons, really. सतीश क्या हुआ? हाँ, ये बच्चे के बंदोबस्त में तो ये सब भूल जाते हैं. He's got to pay fees now.
नहीं.
आकांक्षा आपको दादा बुलाते हैं. मतलब grandfather. Can also be grandfather. How do we know what she meant? So you feel, as a lawyer, you feel that this is a safe bet that it's the elder brother. देखा बच्चा का फोन आ गया.
Did you know Indians report nearly 800 cases of online financial fraud every day, which has resulted in losses exceeding 1,000 crores in the last 5 years? To keep you safe from such fraud, I am starting my newest podcast series, Conversation with Vigilante, an initiative by HDFC Bank. In every episode, I will feature special guests who can share expert insights on the different types of fraud, their modus operandi, and how you can protect your money. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and don't forget to tune into Conversation with Vigilante. Catch the episodes on all audio streaming platforms and V for Vigilante YouTube channel.
Cyrus says every time, Cyrus says, जब ये कहे तुम सुनो, please.
तमीज से बात करना है ना, important people यार.